Isn't time so crazy? Like, I was just thinking about it, and it's forever moving. But we only know that time is moving because we have constant examples of time progressing itself naturally. For instance, if you look at a leaf and then it shifts, that movement shows that time has passed, right? That's why whenever you're like having the concept of being in like an infinite void, you don't have a perception of time. And it's a very dangerous thought, you know? It gets you thinking about people who have been like trapped, ensnared, you know, put in like these like little boxes and forced to live their days out. Like I know when people were being transported by ship back in the old days as slaves, they were thrown into like the hulls, and they basically had no sunlight for weeks, and they had no understanding of what day it was. Now they had the understanding time was passing still because there was people next to them, there was smells, there was differences that would change, so they had the understanding that time is passing. But like I said, like if you start to slowly take away these sensors or these sensory, whatever you would call it, you can't perceive time. So it makes you think, like, does time really exist? And the answer is yes and no, right? Because we can't say as humans that we created time, but it does exist in the sense that something has to happen in order for time to keep moving, right? Even something as simple as something moves, like I've said already with the leaf. We just can't perceive that happening. That's why whenever you see in like TV shows or even just like a remote, right? Like you pause it and time has stopped in that specific moment. Or and you see shows where like there's like, for instance, like in a lot of animes or whatever, there'll be like time stop abilities where things just stop moving. Everything stops, right? Now that is when time is not moving. Things are not going anywhere. Everything is frozen, right? It makes me think. It's like time is a super delicate thing we all have, yet we don't have as well, because we can't own time, right? It's not possible to own something, you know, that is not whole. You can't touch it, right? You can't contain it. It's only an idea, and even with that idea, we all have it, right? So it's some kind of concept. It's like land, right? You can't inherently own land. It's just there, right? We just kind of have like ownership over like the idea of the land being ours, right? That's the whole argument with, I guess, Native Americans or Indians, however they want to be called, I guess. When they say land, it's like, no, this isn't our land, it's just land, right? Regardless, this whole non-stop spiel of what I'm trying to say is that time is important, time is crucial, and time is valuable, yet at the exact same time invaluable. It's this like perfect commodity. It's the thing everyone wants and everyone needs, yet we never have enough of it. But I would say we have plenty of it, right? It's all about how you use it. It's the perception of the actions within that time that establishes whether or not you have enough of said time or not enough of said time, right? So you'll see people who have lived 80, 90, 100 years, and they still don't feel fulfilled as someone who might have lived 25 years. It's just simply how you use the time, right? And I know I'm making this video very soon after the video I just made as well, but I just wanted to make this video to basically say thank you, right? Because we have so limited time in the grand scheme of time as a whole, which is infinite, right? No matter how much time we think we have, it's nothing. It's a speck, right? So to give me any even little increment of whatever time we have in existence as a whole is is incredible. Like, I don't get a lot of views, and I don't expect to ever get a lot of views. But the time you guys spend watching my content is incredible to me, simply because that's time you're willing to spend with me, whether you know me or not. And I think it's a very heartfelt thing, because it's a commitment, you know, and you're giving up that time to someone else in an effort to like be entertained or to learn something or to just simply relax. It doesn't matter what the reason is, it's the simple fact that it is being given up. And I think that's a huge gesture, whether people understand that or not. I think it's incredible, because you don't really start to understand that concept until you've just like sat around for like 3 hours and you're like, wow, like that's just gone now. Like there's no way I will ever get those 3 hours back. And there's plenty of videos out there. There's like two types, where they're like time wasters, where they make you sit here and watch the whole video and nothing comes of it, and you end up almost feeling and looking like a fool when you watch it. And then there's those other videos where it's like, you know, a little clip plays and then it's like, oh, this is what happened, and then just like time saved like 7 minutes or 13 minutes or sometimes even like an hour, like this is what happened. And it's those are two different type of videos, because they perceive time differently, just in the idea of it. Because the first person almost sees time as a resource, as something that they can drag out of you, and they just need more of it, and they want to consume all the time. Whereas someone else is seeing it as something valuable in the opposite way, whereas you would rather save your time rather than spend all of it, right? And I think, I don't know where I lay in that, because I don't ever want to just waste people's time. And obviously I feel like this kind of video feels kind of like a time waster, but it's just me talking and rambling, and that's how I choose to spend my commutes to work, right? This is time I will never get back when I'm driving, right? So I feel that in my time, at the very least, I can be productive, and I want to share my ideas, my thoughts, my experiences, you know, my story with people who are not just willing to listen, but are just willing to be there. And I think, although it's us sharing the same exact amount of time, it's valuable in different ways. It's because of how you perceive it, once again. And I hope to give something to you guys that can be perceived in not just one way, 2 ways, or 3 ways, but in every possible way that we can humanly perceive things in accordance to whatever the video is, right? Because I think with what I do, I want it to be valuable. And I don't know what I would do if I was producing something invaluable, but I would just like, it would be disheartening, you know? Because time is so valuable, and I could never like take that away from someone. So for you guys to like willingly sit and listen to even just like 30 seconds of a video, I think is so incredible, and it honestly makes me very happy, and I thank you guys sincerely. So for whoever has gone to the end of this video and has not felt like this has been a whole time waster, then I appreciate you. And if you have felt like this has been a time waster, I apologize. But this is kind of what I do. I just kind of sit here in my car and ramble as I go to work. So maybe in that experience we can learn something. But from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. Sincerely, I do. And whether or not this video finds you, you've already watched some of my videos, or you're just watching this one or a later video, just thank you, and I appreciate you. And I promise that no matter what I do, I will always try to be the best version of myself, and I will always try to give out the best content that I can in accordance to whatever YouTube tells me I can and can't give out. But besides that, I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, or days, or years, or wherever. Bye, guys.